Alright guys, welcome to another episode of ARWP, the All Real Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Novak, and today we have a special guest. He is one half of the Unguided. He is Matt Vandagriff. Alright Matt, let's start with the first question. What made you go into wrestling and how did you start?
What made me go into it was when I was younger. It was something that I always liked, and I never wanted to have like a real job, so to say. And just in junior high, I just fell in love with it and did the whole Hardy Boys thing where I put ropes from a trampoline and just kind of started wrestling with my friends. And then my senior year of high school, I looked up wrestling schools and Santino Bros popped up every time. So I moved to SoCal and started training at Santino's in 2016. I'm originally from Northern California, so.
Yeah. So how did you and FSW come together?
And what?
FSW.
I worked for FSW back in 2017 the first time. It was one of their Beers and Body Slam shows in December, and then I kept coming back, and then since SoCal's so expensive, I kind of had to move back home after 3 years to Northern California. Then after a few months, I moved to Vegas last September. And I'm friends with a whole bunch of people at FSW, so it was just easy.
All right. So let's start off strong. Tell us about the most recent match in AAA, teaming with Damien and Danny.
Man, hold on.
No problem, man.
Been a minute since I wrestled. I don't. Going to AAA is always fun. It's different for sure because the whole language barrier and not really knowing any Spanish at all, and most of the people who wrestle speak Spanish. But luckily, there's usually someone there that can speak broken English, or I think Limelight speaks a bit of Spanish, so he helps out a bit when he's there. But it's fun. The crowds are really fun. They get into it really easily, and so far we've normally just been the opening matches. But I mean, the experience there is always just great, and they're very welcoming.
That's nice. That's great to hear. All right, tell us more about the Unguided. The Unguided is a dominant tag team that doesn't care if they have to step on some throats to get the job done. What made you guys choose that lifestyle?
I mean, we kind of chose it and came together because we both felt like everything we were doing just was getting overlooked. And we're just kind of not tired of it, but we know we have a lot of potential. And it just got frustrating after a while, and then Damien went through that table and took him out for a minute. And then I wasn't doing some shows at the time. Then we kind of just came together because we were already friends beforehand. And we kind of just mutually just kind of happened, and teaming in AAA helped it happen. And then we kind of were just we know we're two of the best guys, and that we know we can tear it up with anyone we get in the ring with. So why not just be a team and prove everyone how good we are, no matter what it takes.
All right. You know, many places you've traveled on in the indie circuit. Can you remember, what was one place where you had the best crowd, the crowd reactions, just had the energy of the crowd?
For me, my favorite crowd was in Philadelphia for GCW. I wrestled Tony Deppen in the opening match that night, and it was my first time in Philly. So, I mean, obviously they know Tony because he was there all the time, and he's from that area. But they really all dug the match. I mean, some of them knew me from the Fight TV, obviously, when GCW was over in LA. But after the match, I got a "Please Come Back" chant, which is really awesome. Something I could finally cross off that bucket list. But yeah, I think that was one of my coolest crowd moments and like favorite crowds.
All right, no problem. All right, so you told us you started training in Santino Bros. That was like the special class school you've been to. I've interviewed a lot of people from there. Can you tell us, your experience? How you felt there and why people should be going there.
I mean, if you want to be a wrestler, like that to me is the one place you should go. Like I've been to a few different states, and I'm always wearing my Santino stuff, and they always like know Santinos, and like they always be like, "Oh, how's Joey doing?" or "How's Robbie doing?" And it's kind of like, damn, like the school's like it's a good school, but then like when you go to other states and stuff, and people know the school, like like, and like even people have said it's like the best school in probably one of the best schools like in the States.
All right.
Like up there and that. But like they're serious though, like they take it seriously, but they're great coaches, Robbie, Joey, Los Luchas. They know what they're doing. They have a good curriculum, and probably some of the most favorite people I've been around.
All right. That's awesome. All right. So again, I'm really invested in you and Damien as tag team partners. Now that we had Damien on our interview, he had different styles of wrestling. He called it aggressive high flying. How would you describe your wrestling style? To that.
Well, right now I'm changing it up a bit. So with this whole quarantine thing, I've been working on different stuff to kind of go with what we're trying to go for. More aggressive style rather than the spots.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll still have like the flippy stuff in there here and there, but like I'm more trying to show more like make it look like it's actually like a fight and not just playing wrestler.
All right. So you've been to multiple companies when it comes to wrestling. Any place you'd love to wrestle that you haven't wrestled in yet?
I would love to wrestle independent wise for Defy up in, I believe, Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, there's a few. There's I can't remember names right now, but like at least places I'd like to go, like would be Canada. I'd love to try to get out to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Like places like that. Like this, like when everything is back to normal, my goal is just to like kick ass with Damien, and then try to get out more, get more states, get more companies, even countries if possible.
All right. All right. That's awesome. We will definitely look out for you since after the pandemic is over. Tell me more about your gear. I'm a big gear guy, and I'm sure you posted your gear recently. The white it was like white unguided gear. I loved the unguided gear, and I love your gear before you were unguided. I liked your different styles. You had yellow, you had red, you had purple. Tell me about gear. What is gear to you? Do you really take care? Do you like really care about the design quality? Is that like a big part of your character in wrestling?
Yeah, so I draw up my own gear. I mean, it's not the best drawings, but like it's enough to where I can send it to the guy and be like, "This is where I need it. And, like this is where I need it placed and all that stuff."
Mm-hmm.
When I first started getting gear, I didn't care for the shiny materials, but I just didn't like it. And then like the first time I used it, I just fell in love with like that shiny like sparkle material. And then design wise, I just try to think of what can kind of stick out, and color scheme wise, like what colors go together. Like I have like a gold, white, and like shiny black pair, and those colors coordinated well together.
Mm-hmm.
And like blues and pinks, and then like my new gear is like all white with some black logo, purple letters. and like purple on the back of the kick pads and like a green stripe.
Mm-hmm.
And like that stuff's been done for a while now. I just finally had it sent in because I get it from a guy in Mexico, and like I was so like surprised how clean it looked, just in all white. Cause I've always been afraid to get white because I've heard stories of like how it just gets dirty.
Yeah. It sucks because the white gear is always the one that everyone talks about and remembers. I feel like, as a wrestler, you guys have to have at least one pair that's white. Even though you don't use it as much, you should, because it's like what people usually talk about.
No, I've been wanting to. I've been putting it off for like probably a year and a half now on this. Like I don't know. I like want to make it like right. Like I want the right on it, and like I know they're going to be limited uses, like more for big shows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't wait to see that gear on you and Damien. The whole is Damien also gonna have the white, or was it just you?
Just me. I got that more for like when I did the single stuff.
Singles. All right. So the Unguided will do single stuff as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So let's get away from the Unguided questions. Let's get into you a little bit. Tell me some dream matches that you would love to have in the future against any competitor that you want. Who would it be? Give me like 5 guys.
First would be my inspiration and idol, Jeff Hardy. I don't care how it happens. I'd just love for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to wrestle Darby Allin again.
Where have you wrestled Darby before?
I wrestled him it was like maybe my first year in, like maybe right past my like 1 year of wrestling, like on the scene. I wrestled him in San Diego at Fist.
Mm-hmm.
I have a video on my Instagram. It's like a swanton off the balcony onto him.
All right, well, I'll use that in the video.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I would like to wrestle him again, just because like I know I've improved so much since like the first time I wrestled him.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. All right.
Let's see. Hold on.
No problem.
Anyone you said, right? Is anyone?
Anyone.
Somehow I'd like to wrestle Ospreay.
Will Ospreay. Okay, I would love to see that.
Just for like a style wise, and I know wrestling him would make me like 10 times better. Just for how good he is in the ring and work wise. I'd love to do like some type of hardcore match with Moxley.
Okay.
I don't know why, but like during this quarantine thing, I've been wanting to do like hardcore stuff. So that's.
I love that. I love hardcore matches.
And then Alex Zane. Yeah, Alex Zane would be the next one that I'd want to wrestle.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm hearing is, Alex Zane's in New Japan. Like he's doing U.S. and Japan tours. You want to face a lot of guys in AEW. So I see you going to a lot of places after your time with FSW, right?
Yeah, trying to.
All right. Or is there any more you want to give, or is that like the main guys?
Those are the main guys right now. I know more will pop in my head after this, so I'm sorry.
No problem. Is when the dude just be like, oh, I got another guy, and we'll pause the question. It's always good to hear, dream matches. Tell me, your top inspiration. You said Jeff Hardy's a big one. It's obviously because you probably watched him at the time. So tell me, what your biggest inspiration.
Like wrestlers, my biggest wrestlers, inspirations from wrestlers?
Yeah, it could be wrestlers. It could be anything.
Yeah, well, Jeff was a big inspiration because he's what got me into wrestling. I remember I watched like WrestleMania 22, and then like I didn't watch it for like a few months, and then like I watched the Raw when Edge debuted the Rated R title.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jeff came out, and I was like, just from there, I was just in it. So he's always been a big inspiration on like even my move sets and stuff like that. And then as of now, with the Unguided thing, the Joker has been a big inspiration for some of the stuff I'm trying to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Heath Ledger, Mark Hamill, and even the like Joaquin Phoenix.
What's your favorite Joker, if you don't mind me asking?
Probably Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. All right.
Stuff like that, and then Spider-Man just for another like character from like movies. Spider-Man's been my favorite like superhero of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that's where all the flippy stuff and if I ever do parkour stuff comes from that.
Have you ever decided to look at Spider-Man kind of gear?
I've thought about it, but like my buddy Limelight does that from time to time, so like I didn't want to be too similar to him.
Mm-hmm.
Then like other wrestlers like Rollins, Van Dam, Edge is always one. Punk is a big one because I'm straight edge, so he was always a big inspiration for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then, yeah, those are the main like inspirations for wrestling.
All right. Tell me, what? Tell me, as a non-wrestling thing, what are the challenges? Backstage. Like, is it like being late to shows? What's the real challenges when it comes to wrestling?
The challenges to wrestling, hopefully to be on time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know. Like, I know, like me and Damien will leave at like 10 o'clock here to get to Tijuana and drive across just to get there by like 4:35.
Mm-hmm.
And like the show starts at like 8:30.
Yeah.
And then it's like it's all fun, you love it, but then it's like you do like you're preparing, and then like the hard thing too is like if your opponent shows up late, like then you're like that's why I always go prepared with what I want to do. That way, like it's not too much for me to remember. I can remember like their stuff, and then hopefully like they're there in time to like help get their stuff in, put it all together, and you're not like rushing to put something together and like freaking out.
Uh-huh. All right.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
No, it was just like what were just like non-wrestling, like not you actually in the ring related, issues, like some things that can easily happen that can really be stressful.
Just like things being changed last second, whether it's like your match 3, then like you all of a sudden like match 1's going on and you're told your match 2, or like maybe someone wants to change something beforehand, or maybe like I've done this before. I forgot my wrestling shoes before.
And how did that work? Did you have to wrestle in like sneakers?
Well, I mean, sometimes I wrestle in my pink Vans for like my pink and blue gear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, luckily this day I had like my black Vans with me, just wearing those regularly, so I just wore those instead. But like, it's one of those things like where you get there and you're like, oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next question we've seen you with gold before, as for example, the various pro wrestling championship. Any more goals for yourself, for your future? What titles do you want to go for when the pandemic is over?
Me and Damien are definitely shooting for tag titles at FSW and anywhere we can possibly wrestle that has tag titles. I would love to, whenever Santino's is back up and running again, to be the submission or world champion if ever possible. Honestly, I just like to be given more opportunities. So I know I'm good. Like, I'm not trying to be egotistical or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I'm good in the ring and I can perform. So it's like I just would like more opportunities at that rather than just being just the guy that they book,
Yeah, I get it. All right. Well, I do hope you and Damien go for every, win every goal that you're looking for. No, I really support the Unguided. I think you guys are an amazing tag team. All right.
Thank you.
Of course. When you made your, AAA back at the end of May, I believe, how was, the email or call to get into AAA, because it's very hard, because AAA has a really big roster. And a lot of the people know. People know like Vikingo. People know like Blue Demon, Dr. Wagner. There's a huge roster. How did that email or call come to you? Did you have to like audition? Because I remember Damien said in the interview that he had to like, not, it wasn't like an audition, but he had to go in there and they picked him. Like, they specifically went through the list of people and they picked him. How did it go for you? Did they email you? Did they call you? Did they pick you? How did it go?
So originally Conan was at Mecca 4 for FSW last year.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit like March, I want to say. And then he had like a tryout and like, oh man. So I did a tryout and I was actually with Damien, and he was like just done getting sick, and I was like just getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
And like we did, like we barely did anything in it, but we showed like our lucha and our basing. And then me and him were in a fatal 4-way to start off the actual show. It was me, him, Douglas James, and Trey Miguel. And then I think it was like a couple weeks later, like we got a message about it saying that Conan wanted to use us. And then like I had to get my passport, and then just kind of all started going from there. So I was excited about it though. So I was like, hell yeah, like that's a big company, bigger arena, bigger audience, some TV. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. Tell us. You bring up Damien a lot because obviously he's your tag partner. Tell us how you met Damien, because that's I don't think I asked Damien that, and I should have. But tell us how you and Damien met.
I think me and him have talked about this before. I think we like ran into each other at a show in like the middle of the nowhere in California called like Desert Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And like we briefly met there, and then when I did the beers and body slams for my first debut, there is when we met, and we kind of just clicked because it was like held by the Nerd Bar outside on Fremont Street, and then like I think we just clicked because we were in the same match. It was like a 5-way scramble, and then like we kind of just clicked from there, and then just I kept coming back, and me and him were always two that like hung out and talked, and then just kind of like we just became friends. Like one of those things that like just kind of happens.
All right. Well, that's awesome. If it's it's meant to be. It opened up a lot more doors. So tell me, I get this a lot, and a lot of wrestlers gave me different answers, and I know you've been around the area, and I know you've done a lot. I know you've wrestled away a lot. What was the weirdest place that you wrestled at? Like the weirdest venue, or was it the weirdest reason? I got answers like weed festivals. You'd be surprised what I got. What was the weirdest place that you've ever wrestled?
This one's not weird, but it's pretty cool. I've wrestled for like a biker gang.
All right.
It's like a biker club with like a whole bunch of biker like gangs.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say them because I don't think they're like allowed to be around each other. But
all right.
but, like it was cool. It was like a private event, and we're like changing in like a tent like awning thing like outside, but like it's like a whole bunch of biker people. Like it's like a bar, and it's like outside, like food. There's a whole bunch of biker people together. Like it's pretty cool. It's interesting, but like it's pretty cool how like they can bring a lot of people together just wrestling wise.
Yeah.
I've also wrestled at like a car dealership. Like before I even debuted, I was like wrestling under a mask because like that's what Santino's would do.
Mm-hmm.
They put you under like a mask that they had, and like just kind of like fill you out, see how you're doing, to see if you're ready.
All right.
So I wrestled for like a car dealership type thing outside, and like that one was weird, but also like was terrible because like the canvas was black, and like it was in the middle of summer in California.
Oh.
Every time you bumped or got pinned, your back was just on fire.
Oh my god. That sounds really painful. Oof.
And then like I've done like a few like festivals and stuff, but those are never too bad. They're just time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
But I think probably the biker ones, like, it's not weird to me, but like it's cool. Well, I've done one at a house for Cinco de Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
How do calls like that even be made? Like how did they specifically call you, or was it where you were working at a specific company? Like I'm curious how a biker gang called
So
for Rustlers.
it was Santino's does a lot of like events, and like on their website it's like, if you want to host an event, like contact this number, and like rent the ring, and then just the school will supply the wrestlers type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then another weird one that I did. I just remember this. I guess I don't even know the dude's name, but he was like having like a house party for like some like song he was dropping,
All right.
and like they had to put like this small ring inside of his house.
How
And
small
like
was the ring?
it was like a 16-foot ring with like the low rings.
All right.
And then like you couldn't even like stand on the top rope because like you'd be in the roof.
Yeah.
Like after the first match, the cops got called because like the ring is so loud when it's indoors.
Did they pay you for your full time, or how does that even work? If the cops come and they have to cancel it?
I mean, that they had to pay beforehand, but we still got paid and everything. But like we had to get out of there quick because they were like shutting down the street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
All right, that's interesting. That I've never heard of that one. So see, you made the list of outrageous places. Thank you for that. What was the smallest crowd you've ever worked, and what was the largest crowd you ever worked?
largest crowd so far is AAA.
All right.
I'd say largest goes from like AAA, GCW, and like FSW, PCW, and like the last Santino show, the largest crowds.
Right.
Small crowds are probably like I've worked in front of like 10 people.
Was it like what kind was it? Was it like a birthday party? Was it like just, or was it a regular show?
Both.
Okay. Was that again? Was that against Santino Brothers for like birthdays? Like you could call them for a birthday and you could just do something like that.
Yeah. If they would hit me up and be like, if you're available, like if we can use you, and I normally always say yes to them because they're home and like my family. So
Yeah. All right. That's very interesting. All right. Tell me more about like what is one match that you're in? You have to be in it that you want everyone to watch. That you feel like that one means so much to you, and you think everyone should watch it.
like a match I've had.
Yes.
Probably a recent one would be my latest singles match. It was like the week before everything like went to shit. I told Jew Diz at Ground Zero in San Diego. And then, you can see that on IWTV. And then also I have it on YouTube because I don't know how many watch IWTV.
Yep. All right, we'll put that match in the link in the below.
Yeah, I can send you the link if you need it.
No, yeah, please do. When you get a chance, just send me the link. Tell me more. Tell me as a fan, because you are a wrestling fan. You watch wrestling. Tell me what match now you watch and you always feel emotional about.
Like a match I watch now and get emotional about?
Yeah.
Like a recent one, or just like one like
it could be anything. It could be literally Ultimate Warrior versus, Hulk Hogan. It could be anything. It could be like the first wrestling match to the lot. It could be anything. It could be AEW even.
Honestly, Taker and Shawn always was one I go back to. Just both of them, honestly. Just the first one for like, oh, he's gonna do it, and then the second one for like Shawn's retirement. Brock Lesnar and Undertaker. I've only watched that match once. I'm never watching it again.
How much money did you lose off that bet?
No, I didn't lose any money, but just being like this ended, like it ruined the rest of WrestleMania for me. Like that night.
Yeah.
The Edge and Orton one was actually really good. The latest one they just did.
Mm-hmm.
Like story-wise, least with the neck and everything.
Yeah, did you like the Taker and AJ?
Oh, I love that. Taker and AJ, and then even Cena and Wyatt was awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. So, on the next question, tell us more about, places you've traveled. Like, tell us one place that you traveled and, you know, that that place means home to you.
I don't really have one that like means home to me right now, because like I've been wrestling in so many different places, but also like where I started wrestling like wasn't where I was from.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was supposed to debut in San Francisco, a couple times, but like I had AAA or I got hurt, and then like this I was supposed to debut there at West Coast Pro, and it was like 2 weeks after everything happened.
Uh-huh.
And so like I feel like that one would have been more home for me, even though I never wrestled there, but just because like it was an hour and a half from where I grew up, like my family could go there and everything.
Yeah. All right. Tell me more about, merch and gear, where can people, find merch from you, the Unguided or just, your merch?
So we have like 2 shirts left of the Unguided. I'm not sure if they got sold yet or not. I'll have to talk to Damien about that. But we have a new set coming in, but you can just hit us up for that stuff, because
All
we
right.
just sell it at events,
All
and
right.
then like we get merch soon too. So
When are you guys gonna create a pro wrestling tees? Go put your shirts on like a major platform.
I don't know. I
All
can't do that.
right, that's not a problem. All right, you told us more about your idols, who influenced you. Tell me, if you could bring back 3 guys that probably can't wrestle anymore, who would it be and just why?
Like that I could wrestle, or just that they could wrestle in general.
No, that you can wrestle.
Shawn Michaels,
Mm-hmm.
just because like he's always had killer matches, and he's just someone I grew up watching with the DX, and then like his like feuds with Jericho and then Taker.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hold on. I would like to wrestle, or like be in the ring with Punk, just because the straight edge thing. I feel like that'd be a cool little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the reason I'm straight edge. And then if I had to choose one more, probably Christian, so I can wrestle him and Edge in a tag match.
All right. That'd be awesome. Education versus Unguided. I like that. All right. Um, Tell me, if I gave you a contract to any company right now, it would be AEW, New Japan, MLW, NWA, anything, NXT, anything. What would you pick first? Now, in my mind, I think all wrestlers should, not stay in one place and they should jump around just so they were everywhere. I don't know if that's how you feel about it, but if I'm saying your first contract, where would you want to go first?
I mean, like, I'm someone like I'll wrestle anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
but like if I had to have a first, it'd be WWE.
But you wouldn't wait to get to the WWE. You just want to go to the WWE right away.
I mean, it would just depend on the thing. Like if Impact would offer me a contract first, like I'd go to Impact, or like if AEW did, or if Japan or NWA. Like, but the end goal would be like WWE.
All right. So let's say every contract gave you an open except for WWE. What would you go for to start?
Probably Impact or AEW. Just because I watched Impact growing up, and like AJ Styles being on there was a big inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd do Impact because like AJ Styles did Impact, but like, I mean, both schedules seem like they're fairly easy from those two.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe AEW I'd probably choose, just because bigger audience, and the people that work there already have been like wrestling for many years and the minds that I can learn and get taught from.
All right. Well, you did tell me, Darby Allin was one of your guys. Tell me 3 guys you'd like to face in AEW that does not include him.
Mox, Omega, and Pac.
And Pac. All right, interesting. All right, and for Impact?
I like to wrestle Bay again.
Okay. Chris Bay.
I wrestled him on FSW. I like to wrestle Rich Swann again. And probably Ace Austin.
You've never wrestled Ace Austin?
No.
All right. So here's the final question. Where do you think the future will hold? What do you think the future will hold for you? What do you think? You're coming back to FSW. You're coming. Wrestling is open. What are you gonna do first? Like, what's gonna be your first thing? Because I see you and Damien. You guys put up a lot of live TVs. You guys put up those little short clips of you guys waiting to make your return back into wrestling. You guys are planning. You guys are doing things. What is one thing that you could tell us, the fans, people listening, that we could expect from the Unguided or just Matt Vandagriff?
I hope they're ready, because this quarantine has made me realize how much I need wrestling. And
what have you been doing, during the quarantine?
I mean, I'm still working. My job is considered essential, so I'm still working.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me and Damien have been training a few days a week, secretively. But I mean, I just hope they're ready, because I'm coming back with a fire burning brighter than ever, and my goals were to try to somehow get a tryout or be on PWG this year, but kind of all got backpedaled. So I'm coming in with my fire burning pretty high.
All right. That's what everyone should. That's everyone should feel. After watching this video, that we're ready to see that. Tell us where we can find you on social media.
So I got Instagram at Matt Vanda 209. Twitter is the same thing, Matt Vanda 209. And then Facebook, just Matt Vandagriff.
All right, and your YouTube channel?
Matt Vanda 209.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much for listening to the ARWP podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Please like, comment, subscribe. All right, guys, what an awesome listen. What an awesome story. Go check out Matt Vandagriff. Go check out whatever he's doing now with FSW, what he's doing with the Unguided. You should just check out FSW in general. They have such a huge roster, such amazing talent. Homegrown stars like Chris Bay came from FSW. Go check them out if you haven't seen any of their work yet. But if you want to support me in any way, all my information is in the bio below. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for being awesome.